When you got cooking on your mind and you got nothing but time now, baby, don't worry, toss out that old baloney. Now you're working overtime, girl. What you got cooking? He's a hell of a guy, yeah. Chris Foster's alright. The recipe's a delight, yeah. When you got cooking on your mind and you got nothing but time now, baby, don't worry, toss out that old baloney. Now you're working overtime, hero. What you got cooking? Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to Season 2, What You Got Cookin'. I'm Chris Foster. I'm still in Trinity Lutheran School's kitchen, slaving away, making up great treats that the people of Lansing can enjoy. And today is going to be no different. Today's going to be huge. Today's going to be so tasty that I'm going to go one at a time. I'm not even going to tell you what I'm making today. I'm going to do it as I make the dish. So I think you can kind of tell by my figurines here, we're going south of the border. Time for a little Mexico. So in front of me, I've got foil, and I'm going to make some salsa. But what I'm going to do is, these here, I've got some peeled tomatoes. And, you know, real easy to do that. You just boil them and then throw them in ice water, and you can peel the skins off real quick. I've got 1.5 jalapenos, about 6 cloves of garlic. And what we're going to do is we're going to roast them and throw them in the oven to do that. So I'm going to give them a nice healthy dose of olive oil. Throw on a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we just want to bundle this bad boy up. We're not going to have anybody escaping from Alcatraz here. Then I've got my oven set at about 450. I'm going to throw them in. I'll check them about 30 minutes. Second dish I'm going to be doing, real simple. Let me grab my pot. We're going to be making some Spanish rice, what you got cooking style. So I just have my long grain rice. I don't like to use the minute rice. I find it something weird about it. So I've got this long grain rice, and just going to throw it in a pot. And my vegetables that I have going here, I've got some green peppers, some green onion, some chopped garlic, and Vidalia onion. And you can throw red peppers, jalapenos, tomatoes in there, but I don't want to go overkill on the tomatoes. So basically, you know, I got to get some flame going here, but basically we just want to toast this up until that rice is kind of starting to brown up a little bit, and you can smell the garlic. The onions are translucent. No olive oil in there because we want to toast them. And like I said, for great rice, you want to do 1 part rice, 2 parts water, or some other kind of liquid chicken stock, beef stock, any of that. So I just did 1 cup of rice, and I got 2 cups of water sitting, you know, standby. You can throw some butter in there if you're uncomfortable, you know, dry toasting stuff. But key elements to the Spanish rice, I'm not that big on tomatoes in my rice, so I just use tomato sauce and tomato paste. But you can actually get the canned diced tomatoes, or you can dice them up yourself and dump them in there. But that's looking tasty, looking fragrant and delicious. And by the way, the tomato is second in popularity, in America anyway, behind the potato. Still hasn't caught the potato, but it's getting there. So we got some tomato paste and the tomato sauce. You don't really have to take that into account with your liquid. It's liquid, but it's going to evaporate. So then same rules apply as before. Just bring it up to a boil. And once the water sinks down below the rice and you see these little bubbles forming on the rice, take it off the heat, slap a cover on it. All right, Lansing, so stay in your seats. Don't change the channel, because coming up, we're going to take care of business with that bundle of joy that I've got in the oven, and we're going to start something else that's going to make your mouth water. So you don't want to leave. We'll see you.
I'm hero. What you got cooking? Yeah.
during this short break, I was thinking to myself, I was talking with my friend, and I'm real hot. It's sticky outside, and then I realized, I'm making all these hot foods. And I put two and two together. I don't have a very good idea of how to cook for the weather, except for winter. But so we're going to keep going with it anyway. So our salsa, everything was roasted, and how you know when it's done is you can squeeze your tongs, you can poke a knife, whatever, right through the garlic, no problem, and a jalapeno the same. So if you have a food processor or a blender like this, get the whisk attachment, throw everything in there, and right now we're just mixing up the tomatoes, the garlic, jalapenos, and while that's going, throw a little bit of salt and pepper in there. And also some finely chopped cilantro, a little bit of lime juice to finish it off, but I got to keep this going. But if you want to add corn, you can add corn in there. You can add onions, green peppers, whatever you want. I'm just doing a real simple, when you go to Mexican restaurants, you get the authentic salsa. It's real thin, just kind of tomatoes, right to the point. So next comes the coup de grace of the show, for this segment anyway. In my hand, I hold 3 avocados, which these have been used since 4,000 BC by Central Americans. This is something that's been around for quite some time. It's a huge part of Central South America and now even Southwest United States. It's a huge staple in their cooking, and I don't know, I didn't like them for the longest time, but I gave them a chance. So, easiest way to do an avocado and to be safe, I just split it down the middle and then kind of rotate my knife around it and split it in half, and then I got the seed right there. So we'll throw that out. And then I've seen several different ways of doing it. And the guacamole that I'm going to make might be a little bit different from what you're used to. I don't necessarily puree it. I leave it kind of chunky, and what I do is I put on some gloves and hand mash it. So, you can either, if you're comfortable with knife skills, you can kind of drag your paring knife or chef's knife, whichever one you want to use, right through the actual part of the avocado until you feel the skin. But kind of give yourself a buffer zone because the knife will go through the skin. We'll see how this comes out. And, this way I kind of do like a grading design, a square design. And I just take my tongs or a spoon and scoop them right out. Oh, the avocado is pretty versatile. You can use it on fish. I've seen some chicken with it. And it doesn't really take too much. You don't really want to get away from the taste of the avocado. Got a real good flavor. It's low sugar, real low sugar in it. So it's kind of I'd give it a healthy thumbs up. But so basically, what we're doing in this bowl already, I've got some chopped tomatoes, diced tomatoes, small dice, and I've got some cilantro, and so we're going to do these avocados right up. I think I just cut right through the seed. Yeah, that's real ripe. And I think everybody knows, but just in case, you want to choose an avocado when you can dent it with your finger when it's real soft. And so there we go. So basically, we're just going to keep doing this until I get my fill of avocado in my guacamole bowl. And what I like to do with my guacamole is I like to do it spicy. I like to put a lot of the chili peppers in there, the capsicum family. And in the ancient days when Columbus was sailing over to the New World, they would serve pretty much the same exact recipe, avocados, tomatoes, and hot peppers, the Aztecs would. So it's been around for a while, and it doesn't really take that much to make it good, but me, I like to dress things up and make them more my style. I'm not passing any of this off as authentic, south of the border food, but more my interpretation of it. It's always important to note, because I've had some people say, that's not real authentic. That's the fun of cooking. So we got our avocados in there. And that'll be good for right now, 2 avocados. And I'll just put on the gloves. I'll show you the consistency that I want to get with it. You just want to mash it. You don't have to use gloves if you're feeding yourself or your family, but so you just kind of want to mash it. Throw, lots of salt, lots of pepper in there, some lime juice, and I like it thick and chunky. I don't like the puree, like I said. So we kind of want to leave the avocado somewhat intact, but, mushy. I'd give it chunky. That's what we're going for, chunky. So now that that's ready and our salsa's done, I'm just going to spruce this up with a little bit of lime juice, lemon juice, and some zest. But when we come back, it's the main course. Something that I've been wanting to cook for a while, and I haven't gotten around to, but this one you want to stick around for, Lansing. We'll see you when we get back.
I'm here. What you got cooking? Yeah.
Oh yes, my special friends. It has come to the climax of the show of Mexico. Didn't mean to do the rhyme, but we're going to do some chicken fajitas. And I just got some boneless chicken breasts here that I'm going to thinly slice. And I got some onions that I sliced, medium-sized, because we want them to maintain that they're still there. And, if you watched the show last season, you know how our producer, director, Neil Murphy, feels about green peppers. So I decided to omit them so that he could have some of the food. So we've got the chicken right behind me. I got a hot saute pan going with some olive oil. I just caught myself with a real thick Chicago accent there. But so I'm going to heat that up. I want it to get real hot. And I got some salt and pepper I'm going to sprinkle on the chicken. I'm going to season it up a little bit more than maybe, your traditional fajitas are going. But like I said, when I do things, I like to do the maximum. So I hear my oil popping back there. So salt and pepper on my chicken. I'm going to turn around and bring it right into the pan. And be careful because the pan's, oh yeah, mama. Let me get some of this. It's a brand new pan, so. But you want that oil in there, and you want to move them around right when you get them in there so they don't stick. Because I'm not using the Teflon no stick. Because you lose a lot of flavor with those in something like this. So I got these fajitas going. Turn down my heat just a little bit. I'm going to wait till the chicken gets colored on all sides. Then I'm going to add in my onions. But in the meantime, I got some ground cumin. Pour a little bit of that in there. And a little bit of ancho chili powder. I got to take it down a notch in terms of heat. But the ancho, like I said before, sweet, smoky, real fruity. So we'll mix this up. So now we got a nice coating of the cumin and the ancho chili powder on the chicken. And the chicken's nice and coated in it. So I'm going to bring my onions and put them in there. And, normally you throw in a little bit of jalapeno, you throw in a little bit of green pepper, all as well. And about this time, I like to add in some lime juice as well. And a little bit of lime zest. And, oh man, the guacamole and salsa, sidebar, Lansing, sidebar. The guacamole and salsa turned out amazing. So I recommend that you definitely make those. And like I said, I put some habanero powder in that guacamole, and whew, you get some citrus, you get some heat. Life is good, man. So let's add a little bit more salt and pepper. And I'm going to add a little bit of honey, too. Bring out a little bit of sweetness in it. Because, like I said, it's ridiculously hot outside today. So we can take it down just a little bit. And you can put a cover on it, you can leave the cover off, whatever. Just let those cook until they're done. And as soon as they're done, chop up some cilantro real fine, stir it in there, and I'll show you how I'm going to eat it right after these brief messages and previews from LNN Channel 4. We'll see you then.
I'm here. What you got cooking? Yeah. I'm here. What you got cooking? Yeah.
Now is the time on the show when I like to bring out the food and I plate it. And I've started to do something where I have either a cast member or a friend of mine come out and try the food. So at this point, I would like to introduce LNN cameraman who films me, and I can see him drooling this whole show. So I said, Andy Brady, come on down and try food on camera. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Great. So let's just go over this. And right here we have the chicken fajitas, flour tortilla, cheese, cheddar cheese. There's your Spanish rice with the green peppers, onions, and green onions. The salsa and the guacamole. So why don't you try them while I continue to talk about what else we can do with these. Personally, I recommend that, we put the salsa on the fajitas. That's how I eat them, salsa and a little bit of the rice. How's that bite? You don't have to
Pretty
talk
good.
with your mouth full. I'll wait till you're done. It's not a... Why don't you wait to shove that in? All right. How
It
was,
was,
how
it
was
was
the
pretty
fajita, man?
delicious.
Pretty delicious?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was very good.
Okay.
I'll give
I'm
this
looking
a
for
shot.
brighter, vibrant words than what Andy's given me here. Maybe I should just try it and see how I like it. How's the rice, at least?
I like it a lot.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to try the fajita myself. Oh, mama. That's good stuff.
good sauce.
It's very good sauce.
Yeah.
I recommend making these. And, it doesn't have to be as spicy as I made it. It doesn't have to be as calm as I made it. Just as long as you put love and soul into cooking. We'll see you next time on What You Got Cooking.
What you got cooking?